My mom is demanding I accept her new boyfriend, even when she knows what he does to me. I was 14 when mom announced that Peter would be my new father. Dad had been ripped from me 3 months before, accused of faking documents. The morning ICE took him still burns in my mind. 7 a.m. on a Sunday. I was eating cereal when the door exploded off its hinges. ICE agents flooded our kitchen and slammed Dad to the floor. They zip-tied his wrists while pressing a knee into his temple. When he tried to look at me, they yanked his head back by his hair. Te amo, mija, he gasped before they dragged him backward through our broken door. I ran after them barefoot, glass cutting my feet. They threw him in the van like cargo, and him pressing his palm against the window was the last I saw of him. I ran home screaming to mom that it made no sense. He'd been a software engineer and held a green card. This forgery accusation had materialized from thin air. That afternoon, while I sat frozen on our couch with bandaged feet, mom brought Peter through that same door. The immigration lawyer who'd fight for our family. Mom's hand found his too easily. 5 months passed in the blink of an eye. We suddenly lived in Peter's glass tower, 20 floors above the city. Mom wore designer clothes and spoke about our blessed new beginning. The engagement ring appeared on her finger like it had always belonged there. She stopped speaking Spanish at home, saying it was safer that way. Peter grew comfortable in his home immediately. At breakfast, he'd watch me over his newspaper. You're transforming into quite the American beauty, Sophia. He stretched American. That week he enrolled me into an all-white private school. I tried telling mom he felt dangerous, but she just laughed and called me a jealous child. You just miss having all my attention, she said, painting her nails like she never did for Dad. That Friday after school, Peter cornered me in the kitchen. I was doing homework when his shadow fell over my textbook. His fingers wrapped my wrist like a shackle, pressing until bones ached. Careful about tattling to mommy Sophia. Your aunt's work permit expires soon. His phone appeared. ICE already typed in the contact list. One button, Sophia. That's all it takes. That night I created a secret email account, hands shaking on the keyboard. It took me days, but I finally found my dad. I sent him a message, and he responded 3 days later with the biggest paragraph ever. He promised they'd never fully take him away from me. I wanted to believe it, but then I got off the school bus one morning, and the secretary handed me a new ID card. Sophia Castellanos had become Sophia Johnson. Your mother filed the paperwork yesterday, she said. I threw up in the bathroom, staring at this stranger's second name. 2 days later, Peter found me crying over Dad's old shirt I'd hidden. He settled beside me on the couch, too close. The cushions dipped toward him. His palm pressed my knee, thumb moving in circles. This is how American families show appreciation, Sophia. We take care of each other. His fingers started traveling upward. I bolted to the garage and hid behind mom's car until dinner, breathing in motor oil and counting the minutes. Dad's messages became my oxygen. He sent me a drawing of 2 bears hugging, something he used to do when I was little and scared. His final hearing came 6 weeks later. Peter had dropped him as a client and he was representing himself. I begged mom, just let me speak for him. Let me testify that he's a good man. But she was putting on earrings, getting ready for dinner with Peter. Peter interrupted me from the doorway. We have that family getaway, remember? 3 nights in Austin. But he's my father, I said. Peter's jaw tightened. And your father is an animal and a criminal. I went to shout back. No, you're an animal, and Peter palm cracked across my face. I hit the floor and started crying. Mom walked over, examining her manicure. You need to learn respect. It's only in Austin I found out Peter was staying in the room next to me. He pushed through the connecting door at 2 a.m. His weight pinned me down. American girls stay quiet. I bit my tongue until it bled and counted the roses on the wallpaper to drown out the feeling. The drive back was 500 miles of silence. At home, mom discovered my secret emails to Dad. She pretended to be me and sent him the nastiest message she could, telling him I never wanted to see him again, that he was dead to me. She even found the paper drawing of the 2 bears and fed it to the garbage disposal, but she wasn't done. That evening, Peter installed cameras in my room, so I couldn't hide anything. He started reviewing the footage nightly from his phone, making sure I knew he was watching. Everything inside me shattered. I walked around like a broken marionette for 2 months. Dad was back in Peru. Peter did what he wanted in plain sight, knowing mom never cared. I tried to buy locks to keep him out at night, but he always knew how to pick them. I remember being on the brink of ending my life when our building's receptionist called my name. He had an envelope for me. I saw the sender had written a message to the receptionist on this envelope, not to give this to Peter or mom, only me. My heart exploded. It was Dad. I hid the envelope in my torn mattress and waited till I was alone to open it. My opportunity came 3 weeks later when mom and Peter left for a day trip to Houston. I opened the envelope and I immediately started crying. Dad knew that my last message was fake, that it wasn't me. He told me he loved me, and reading it made me feel more alive than I had in the whole year, but it was the ending that caught my eye. I hid a notebook in our old house's ventilation grate. If you find it, you can get me back. My heart stopped. I packed my bag and set out, taking 3 buses to our old building. I picked a lock and went inside. Full story on channel linked below.